So a lot of people are really upset about Luffy now becoming a god in the latest chapter 1044, but I think they're misreading it. Luffy hasn't become a god at all. A quick description of Luffy's devil fruit is that its user's body gains the properties of rubber. In combat, they're supposedly only limited by their imagination, putting smiles on faces far and wide. They are the embodiment of the warrior of liberation. Awakening exponentially strengthens their rubbery body and they have even more freedom. It is allegedly, in quotes, sun god, out of quotes, Nika. It's very much important that they put in the air quotes for sun god. For those who don't know or forgot, Nika isn't actually a god. Only the slaves revered to him as a sun god, like as a deity. So therefore, Nika himself isn't a god, but the slaves looked up to him and thought he was a god. Also, another thing I want to point out about the devil fruit that they're only limited by their imagination, meaning that yes, they could basically do anything they want with this like devil fruit, but as long as it only applies to rubber. Because if you remember, Kaido in his fight against Luffy, he pointed out how rubber isn't meant to bend that way. And he wasn't the first person to mention that. Another person who mentioned that in 2 arcs ago in Dressrosa was Doflamingo, pointing out how his attacks were just like adjusting, like just moving around and like bending in a weird way that rubber normally shouldn't. But because of Luffy's imagination, he's able to do that such thing. Basically bending the laws of physics of how rubber actually works. Lastly, I want to point out, it says here in the description, awakening exponentially strengthens their rubbery body and they have even more freedom. Keyword, exponentially strengthens their rubbery body. So meaning that their body can just do things that normally rubber can't do. Does that mean he's a god? No. It just means that Luffy is now able to do a whole lot of things that you can't really do with actual rubber, as long as it, like, you know, it fits in like the rubber category. So what like he did with Kaido and just reflecting the blast by solidifying or rubberifying the ground and redirecting at him, it's kind of like the properties of he does it with rubber, because you know rubber always bounce right back up. So what do you guys think of this chapter? What are some things you have some questions about? Are you excited for the next chapter? Because we are not going on break. So I can't wait to see more of Luffy Gear 5th.